Testing, 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 test, testing, 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 testing. All right. 173.59. Term for explosive. First, purpose of the subchapter description of the following terms provide with the information only that must not be used for the purpose of the classification and replace proper shipping names prescribed in 172.101 of the subchapter. Ammonium nitrate fuel oil mixture, a blasting explosion containing no essential ingredients other than impaled ammunition, nitrate for the fuel and oil, and ammunition general term related to many articles of the military application consisting of all the types of bombs, grenades, rockets, mines, projectiles, other similar devices, contravances, ammunition eliminating without and burst, expelling charge and propelling charge of ammunition designed to propel, and ammunition designed to produce a single source of intense light with the lighting up the air with the term and increase the elimination of the cartridge with the grenades, projectiles, elimination targeted identification bombs. Terms exclude the following articles, which are listed separately with the cartridges, signal devices, hand signal, distress flares, aerial and flares, and surfaces. Ammunition incendiary. Ammunition containing the incendiary substance which may be solid liquid gel, including white phosphorus, except when the composition is an explosive burst as containing one or more of the following in a propelling charge with a primary ignition charge with a few of the burst of the expelling the charge of the term. Includes ammunition incendiary liquid over gel with a burst with expelling charge with a propelling charge of ammunition incendiary without bursting, expelling charge with the proper charge for the ammunition incendiary white for the purpose of the burst, expelling charge with the proper propelling charge. Ammunition practice the ammunition with the main bursting charge with the containing with the burst with the expelling containing the charge. Normally it is also contained with the fused and propelling charge with the term excluded with the following article which are listed in separately general practices. Grenade practices. Ammunition proof. Ammunition proof containing the pyrotechnic substance used to detect the performance or strength of the new ammunition weapon the component they assemble. Assemblies. Ammunition smoke with the ammunition containing the smoke produced with the substance such as chlorosulfide and mixture with the titanium tetrachloride with the force of the smoke producing substances whose composition is based with the hexachloroene ethanol with the red phosphorus except for the substance for the explosive. Per the ammunition also contains one more of the following with the primary charge with the primary igniter charge for the fuse for the burst for the expelling charge. Term without burst or expelling charge for the propelling charge. Ammunition smoke white phosphorus with a burst or expelling charge for the propelling charge. Ammunition producing burst expelling charge for the propelling charge. Ammunition containing with the tier of the producing substance may also contain one or more of the following pyrotechnic substance propelling charge for the primary igniter charge for the fuse for the burst and expelling charge. Ammunition toxic. Ammunition containing toxic agent may also contain one or more of the following with the pyrotechnic substances propelling charge with the primary igniter charge, fuse and burst expelling charge. The article with explosive and extremely insensitive are articles EEI, article with containing only extremely insensitive substances which are demonstrated with a negligible probable accident initiation propagation under the normal conditions of transport which have been based on test series 7. The article with the pyrophoric articles containing pyrophoric substances are capable of the spontaneous ignition where they exposed to the air with explosive substances or component of the term excludes the article with the white phosphorus. Articles pyrotechnic with the technical purpose of the article with the name of the pyrotechnic substance with the technical purpose for the heat, the generator, the gas generation, the theoretical affects or etc. with the terms excluded with the following article with the list with the separately all ammunition cartridge with the single with the cartridge capable of explosive the fireworks, flares, aerial flares, safety. Surface relief device, explosives, rivets, explosive signal devices, hand signals, distress signals, railway track, explosives, and signal smoke. Auxiliary component is isolated with a small device, explosive, leave the performs the operation with the relay with the article function with the main with the explosive load performs the function of the component does not cause any reaction with the main explosive loads contained within the article. Black powder, gunpowder, substance consisting of the amate with a mixture with the charcoal with the other carbon with the other potassium, sodium nitrate with the sulfur with the maybe with the granular component with the petalites. Alright, bombs. Explosive article with a drop from aircraft. They may contain with a flammable liquid with a burst charge with a photo flash composition burst. This term exclude with the torpedoes area will include the bombs, photo flash bombs with a bursting charge with the bombs and flammable liquid with burst charges. Boosters articles consisting with the charge of the detonation explosives without the means of initiation with increase the initiating power of the detonator with the detonating cord. Boosters explosive the articles consider the small charge explosive to open the projectile with the other aim. ammunition in order to disappear with the contents. Cartridge black. Also, article with the cartridge case with the center of the rim with the fire primer with the confinement charge with the smoke with the black gunpowder. But no. Projectile UV the training solution with the star of pistol tool, etc. Cartridges, flash, article containing with the casing with the primer, flash powder. It's all assembled in one piece of the firing. Cartridges for weapons fixed, assembled, and semi-fixed, partial assembly. Ammunition designed with the fair with the weapons for the cartridge include all the components necessary with the function of the weapon. Once name and the description should be used with the military small arms. The cartridge cannot be described in the cartridge with the small arms. Separate loading ammunition is indicated with the name of the description. When propelling charge with the projectiles are packed and together so that the cartridge blank incendiary smoke and toxic terror producing cartridges are described and used under ammunition incendiary, etc. Cartridges, the weapons and air projectile with the ammunition specifically with the casing propelling charge with the solve of the impact projectiles cartridges oil well articles specifically with the gauge of the fiber metal with the other material containing oil only propellant with the explosive with the terms exclude with the charge with the shape of the commercial cartridge power device article design with accomplished mechanical action with the specifically with the casing charge with the deflagration explosive with the mean with the ignition of the gaseous production with the deflagration produced with the inflation liner rotary motion, active the diaphragm valve and switch with the project of fastening devices, extinguisher agents. Cartridges signals article with the design with the fire color flare with the other signal with the signal piston of the device. Cartridge with the small air with the ammunition specific in cartridge case with the fitting with the center with the rim fire with the primary with the containing with the bolt with the projection. Charge with the solid projectile with the air design and fire with the weapon with the caliber. No charge with the 1.9 1mm shotgun with the cartridge to any caliber. Include with these description. These terms exclude with the cartridge small arms, blank or some military small arms categories or cartridge cartridges for weapons and air projectiles. Case and cartridge is empty with a primer and article consisting of the cartridge case. Made from metal, plastics, or other non-flammable materials in which only the explosive components are primer. Case for the combustible empty without primer with the article consisting of the cartridge cover the partial and interrelated with nitrocellulose, charge with the bursting with the article confined with the charge with the detonating explosive with the hexolite, oxalate with the plastic with the bound with the explosive design to produce the effect with the ballistic with the fragmentation. Charge demolition article with the consistency of the charge with the detonation explosive with the casing fiberboard, plastic metal with the other material with there's term exclude article with the identified with the bombs, etc. with the charge with the depth articles specific charge with the detonating explosive with the contained with the drum with the projectile they were designed to detonate underwater. Charges expelled with the spelling with the charge with the deflagration explosive designed to eject the payload with the parent article without the damage charges with the explosive without the detonator article consisting of the charge with the detonating explosive with the meaning of the initiation and with the explosive welding, joining, forming, and other processes. Charging propelling article containing with the propellant charge with any of the physical form with or without the casing with the UV the cannon for reducing the drag with the projectiles or a component with the rocket motors for the charging propelling with the canyon articles consisting of the propellant charge with any of the physical form with or without the casing for using cannon charge the shape without the detonator articles consisting of the casing with the containing charge with the detonation of explosive with the cavity line with the rigid material without mean with the elimination and the initiation with the design to produce the powerful penetrating jet effect. Charges shape with the flexible linear articles, consist of the V shape of the core with the detonating explosive with the clad with the flexible metal sheath with the charger supplementary explosive with the article with the some of the removable bolsters use the cavity projection between the fuse and bursting charge. Components explosive train. Components explosive train. The article contained with any with explosive designed to transmit the detonating deflagration with an explosive train. Consumer firework. A finished fireworks device for the form and intent of the use of the public comply with any limits required with the APA standards 871 and the construction performance chemical with the composition labeling requirements codified with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission in the Title 16 CFR Parts 1 1500 to 1507. 1507. Consumer firework product does not include the firework devices kit for the components banned with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission in Title 16 Code Federal Regulation 1517A8. Contravenience, water activity with the burst of the expelling the charge with the propelling charge of the articles with the function of the dependent on the physical chemical reaction with they are contained within the water. The car detonating flexible article with the containing specific the core with the detonating explosive and clove with the spun fabric with the plastic and other covering. Cord fused detonating metal clad article with the consisting of the core of the detonating explosive with the clad that may be soft metal with or without the protective covering when the core contains with sufficiently some quality with the explosive the words metal effects are added. Card igniter. Article consisting of the textile yarn with the covered with the black powder with another fast burning pyrotechnic composition, flexible, protective covering consisting of the core black powder surrounded with the flexible woven back fabric. It burns progressively along through the length of the external flame and is transmitted the ignition for the device to be a charger or primer. Cutter cables explode for the articles consisting of the native edge with driven with a small charge of the deflagration explode into the anvil, the detonator assembly. Non-electric for the blasting. Non-electrical detonators are assembled within the activated view of the mean of the safety view of the shock tube, of the flash tube, of the detonating core. They may be the instantaneous design with the incorporated with the delay elements. Detonating relay with the incorporating detonating core are included. Other detonating relays are included. The detonators non-electric. Detonators. Article with a small metal with a plastic tube with the container with explosive with the touch of lead, azide, PETN combination with explosive with the air design to start the detonation. Maybe control for the detonate instantaneous may contain with the delay element that may contain with more than 10 grams of total explosive weight with the exclude with the ignition delay with the cover the per unit determined include with the detonator with the ammunition detonator with the blasting for both electric and non-electrical detonating relays with the flexible detonating cord. Dynamite. A detonating explosive contained with a liquid explosive with the ingredient with generally the nitroglycerin with the organic nitrate with the esters or both that is uniformly mixed with the absorbent material with the wood pulp with the usually with the contains with the material with the nitrogen soluble with the sodium ammonia nitrate. Entire loading table total content with the various mains with a substantial portion of the material explode with the practical halves should be assessed, assuming simultaneous explosion with the whole of the explosive content with the load of the package. Explode. Determining decay with the explode for the fact for the cable for the endangering life of the property with therefore through blasting, heating with the projection with the missile with the encampments for the both the deflagration detonators, expulsion of the total contents. The fray with the testing with the signal article with the package for the small stack with the articles or package explode with the blasting, detonate with the explode with the substance used in the mining with the construction. And similar type of the blasting explosive within one of the 5 types in addition with the integratives well, the list below these for the type of the blasting explosive may contain with the inherent components such as the kills, gur, or other minor ingredients such as the coloring agent for the stabilizer with the explosive blasting type A, substances containing the liquid organic nitrate stuff with the nitroglycerin with a mixture of the stuff of the ingredients with one or more of the following nitrocellulose ammonia nitrate other than inorganic nitrates or aroma nitrate derivatives of combustible materials such as wood, metal, aluminum power. Stuff for the explosive must be in the power of the gelatinous fish with elastic form of the term include with the dynamite blasting gelatin dynamite. Explosive blasting type B with the substance consisting with a mixture of the ammonium nitrate with the inorganic nitrates with the explosive with the trinitrotoluene or with or without the substance just wood metal with aluminum power, the mixture of the ammonia nitrate and other inorganic nitrates with the combustible substances which are non-explosive ingredients such as explosives may not be containing nitroglycerin, some of the liquids the organic nitrates and chlorates explosive with the blasting type C. Substances consist of the mixture of either the potassium sodium chlorate with the potassium sodium with the ammonium perchlorate with the organic nitro derivative of the combustion material such as wood metal with the aluminum pure with the hydrocarbons such as explosive that must contain the nitroglycerin and any similar liquid organic nitrate. Alright, explosive blasting type D, the substance consisting of the mixture with the organic with the nitrate with the compound with the combustible metal material with the stuff of the hydrocarbon and aluminum power with the stuff of the explosive must contain the nitroglycerin or similar liquid organic nitrate chlorate with the ammonia nitrate with the term generally include the plastic explosives. Explosive blasting A type E with the substance consisting of the water with the essential with the ingredient with a high proportion of ammonia nitrate with the other oxide of some of the other which are in solution and the other constitute with including nitrate derivative of the rest of the tritoluene hydrocarbon aluminum power the term include the explosive emulsion with the explosive with the slurry explosive with water gel. Explosive deflagration, a substance of the propellant which reacts with the deflagration rather than detonating with the ignite with the U with the normal manner. Explosive detonating, a substance which reacts with detonating rather than defragnating with it when initiated using a normal manner. Explosive extremely insensitive to substance. The substance where they have the demonstrated with the test of the stress for the insensitive they were very little with the probability of the accident initiation. Explosive primary. Explosive substance with the manufacturer with the view of the producing the practical effect with the explosive with the very sensitive with the heat with the impact with the friction even if the very small quantity of the detonate with the major of the primary explosive with the mercury, fuel mate, lead azide, lead styphenate. Explosive secondary. An explosive substance with the relatively insensitive that would compare with the primary explosive that is usually initiated with the primary explosive without the aid of the booster. Supplementary charge for the substance explosive may react with defragmenting the detonating with explosives. Alright, fireworks. Pyrotechnic article with design with contain for entertainment. Flares. Article with contain with the pyrotechnic substances which are designed to illuminate the identified signal or warn term that include the flare, aerial, and flare surfaces. Flash powder, pyrotechnic substance which ignite the thrust produces intense light. Fracture devising explosive oil wells without these detonators. Articles consider charged with the detonating explosive contained within the charge without the means of initiating the use of the fracture with the rock around with the drill shaft to assist the flow of the crude oil from the rock. Fuse and fuses. Although two words with a common origin, fuse and French fuse, fusees or fusels are sometimes considered the different spelling, but the fuse to maintain conventional use of the fuse refers to cord-like ignition device, where fuse refers to the device of the ammunition incorporated the mechanical, electrical, chemical, hydrostatic components to initiate the training of the deflagration detonation. Fuse igniter article consists of the metal tube with the core of a deflagrator and explode with the fuse and instantaneously non-detonating quick match article consisting of the cotton yards impregnated with the fine black powder. It's burned with an external flame and use the ignition with the train with the fireworks, etc. Fuse and safety articles containing with the core fine grain black powder surrounded with a flexible woven fabric, one or more of the protective outer cover with the burns with a predetermined rate without any explosive effect. Fuses articles designed to start with the detonating deflagration ammunition for the incorporated the mechanical, electrical, chemical with the hydrostatic component generally protect with the feature for this include the term includes fuse with detonation, fuse with detonating with a protective feature for the fuse igniting. Grenades, hand and rifle articles which are designed to throw with the or by with the or projected by rifle with the term include with the grenade, hand, rifle, the bursting charge with the grenades, practice hand or rifle terms exclude with the generator, grenades and spoke. Igniters. Articles containing one or more of the explosive substances for the start of the deflagration of the explosive train. They may be actuated with the chemically, electrically, and mechanically terms include cord igniter fuse with igniter fuse, the fuse instantaneous non-detonating fuse igniting lighters fuse instantaneous non-detonating fuse igniting lighters fuse primers cap type and then primary tubular. Igniting means the general term of the use of the connection with the method blow with the ignite with the deflagration terrain with the explode with the pyrotechnic stuff, for example, the primer or propelling charge with the igniter with the rocket motor with the igniter fuse. Initiation means of one device intended to cover the detonate with the explosive, for example, the detonator and detonator with the ammunition with the detonator fuse. 2. The term which are used means of the initiating the means of the normal initiating device assembled the two in the device of the conserve the present with a significant risk during the transport, but not more than greater than enough. The gun-scope of the term does not apply with however the contravenes back to the together the means of the initiating provided with the device the package of eliminate the risk of the detonation with the contravenes in the event of the function of the initiating device. The initiating device can be assembled with the contravenes provide with the protect with the feature of the term with the device is very unlikely to cover the detonation contravenes on the conditions which are associated with the transport. For the purpose of classification, any means of the initiating without the two effective particular feature of this should be regarded with the compatible with the group B with the article with the means initiation with the two effective program feature with the compatible with group 5 with the mean with the initiation with itself with the two effect protective feature with the compatible with group D with the article with which one mean with the initiation with the possessed with the effective feature with the compatible with the group D and E group D or E. I mean with the initiating or jump with the having two effective protective feature that must be approved with the associated administrative common effective way with the achieving the necessary degree of the protection with the use of means initiating with incorporated two more independent safety features. Jet perforating gun charge oil well without detonator. Articles containing steel tube, metallic strip within which for the inserted shape charges down the contained with the detonator core without the means initiation. Where are we? Lighter and fuses. Articles, various designs actuated with the friction with the percussion, electricity with the ignite, the safety with the mass explosive with the effect with the also when entirely load virtually instantaneously. Mine's articles existing in the normally made with a composition receptacle with a black bursting charge. They are designed to be operated with a passage of the ship, the vehicle with the personnel. The term includes Bangalore torpedoes, phlegmatizer. The term means that substance of phlegmatizer has been added to the explosive to enhance the safety handling of the in transport. The phlegmatizer range of the explosive is insensitive to less sensitive following actions: heat shock, impact, percussion, or friction. Typical phlegmatized agent include, but are not limited to wax, paper, water, polymers such as fluorine polymers, alcohol and oils such as petroleum jelly and paraffin, powder cake, powder paste of the substance consisting of the nitroglycerin cellulose impregnated with not more than 60% of the nitroglycerin and other liquid organic nitrates is a mixture of these. Powerless smoke. Substance based on nitrocellular with U the propellant, but the terms include the propellants and signal base of the nitrocellular with the NC alone. Those double base studies for the as NC or nitroglycerin. Those with triple bases such as cellulose, nitroglycerin, nitrogonad, cast breasted with a bag charge of smuggler's power are listed under the charge of propelling charge of the propelling for cannon. Primary cap type. Article used for the metal plastic cap contained with a small amount of the primary explosive mixture with readily ignited with impact with the super and igniting elements with small arm cartridges and persecution primary with the propelling charges. Primary tubular article existing the primary ignition with the auxiliary charge with the deflagration explosive with the black power to ignite the propelling charges and cartridges, etc. Projections. Articles such as the tail of the bullet which project with the aim of the other artillery, gun, rifle, and the other small arms that may be in there without a tray that may contain a burst. burst or expelling charge. burst. Burst charges. The terms include projectiles inherent with the trays or projectors with a bursting expelling charge with the projectors. Projectiles with a bursting charge. Alright, propellant liquid. Some of the considered deflagration liquid explosive with propulsion, propelling solid substance consisting of the deflagrating cell with explosive with the propulsion. Propellants, deflagration explosive with the propulsion with the reducing the drag of the protection. Projectiles. Release device explosive the article the small serve of the explosive means initiating with the serve the drive of the link to the release of the equipment quickly. Rocket motors. The article specifically a solid liquid hydrogluic and power propellant contained with the cylinder fitting of the one or more nozzle that is designed to propel a rocket guide missile determined include with the rocket motor with the hydrogluic liquid or with or without the expelling charge of the rocket motor's liquid fuel of the rocket's article containing with the rocket motor payload when there may be with the explosive warhead. Other devices and terms include the guide missile, the rocket line, throwing rockets liquid refuel of the bursting charge of the rockets, the bursting charge rockets with the expelling charge of the rockets with the inherent head signals article with the pyrotechnic stuff with the design produced for the signals. Maybe sound with the flame with the scope of the end combination there of the terms include signal device hand with the signal of the distress ship with the signal of the railway extract explode with the signal of the smoke sounding devices explode for the article with the certificate and charge of the detonating explode for alpha to the ship with the function with the reach with the determine the depth of the seabed. Substance explode with very insensitive with the substance with EIV, NOS, substance with which present with the mass explode with the hazard which with the insensitive with the very little the probability of ignition with the transition burning to the detonation with normal conditions with the transportation which pass series test 5. Torpedoes, article consisting with explosive and non-explosive propulsion system designed to propel through the water that may contain any of the air head of the warhead of the terminal include with the torpedoes liquid fuel and air head of the torpedoes liquid fuel without bursting charge of the torpedoes bursting charge. Alright, tracer for ammunition. A slew of the articles with containing the pyrotechnic substance for the design to reveal the trajectory of the projectile. Warheads, article containing the detonating explosive is designed to be fitted with the rocket guide missile the torpedo that may contain the burst spelling charge of the bursting charge of the terms include warhead rocket with bursting charge and warhead torpedoes with bursting charge. 173.60 general packaging requirements for explosives unless otherwise provided in subpart 1 in 173.7a with the package for the class 1 explosive the material that must meet with the package group 2 requirements. Each packing unit explosive must be capable of meeting with the test requirements of subpart M of the part 178 with the subchapter specified level of performance for the application for the general packaging requirements of paragraph B of the section. The general requirements of packaging explosives are as follows: the nail staples over the closure devices made over the metal with the heavy nail protected with the cover that not penetrate the inside of the outer packaging unless the inner packaging adequately protect the explosive against the contact with the metal. The closure device contained with liquid explosive must provide with the document double protection against the leakage such with the screw cap of the screw with and plate with the tape. Inner packaging fitting with the cushioning material with the placing of the explosive substance. The article packaging must be such so that the explosive substance prevent from becoming elusive of the outer packaging during transportation. Metallic components of the article must be prevented with making contact with the metallic packaging of the articles containing the explosive substance not enclosed in an outer casings must be separated for each for the in order to prevent friction with the impact padding trail. Padding and trays with the portion of the inner and outer packaging molded plastic receptacles may be used in this purpose. One of the packaging included water that could free with the transport sufficient amount of the antifreeze with the stuff of the denatured ethyl alcohol must be added to the water to prevent freezing with the antifreeze crate with the fire hazard. It may not be used when a percentage of the water with the substance specified with the common way. The water with the antifreeze may be substituted with the article with its own means, but the ignition with the initiation must be effectively protected with the accidental actuation during normal conditions of transportation. Entry with explosive substance with the reset with the double seam with the metal package must be provided with the closure of the device. The metal drums must include a suitable gasket. The closure devices include metal-to-metal screw threads with ingress explosive substances into the threaded must be prevented. Whenever loose explosive substances for the explosive substance for the uncave of the part of the caused by an article that may come in contact with the inner surface of the packaging, 1A, 1B2, 4A, 4B metal receptacle metal packaging should be provided with an inner lining coating. Packages must be made with the materials compatible with and comparable with the explosive containing packages so that neither the interaction between the explosive with the packaging material nor leakage cause the explosive to become unsafe with the condition of the hazard of the compatible groups to change. 173.24e, an explosive article containing the electrical mean with the initiation of sensitive to the external electromagnetic radiation must have the mean with the initiation effective protective electromagnetic radiation with the example of the radar and radio transmitter through the design packaging of the article or bulb. Plastic packaging may not be able to generate the accumulation sufficient with the static electricity of the package of the substance of the article. With the initiate with the ignite inadvertently with the function metal packaging must be compatible with the substance for the contain. Explosive substance may not be packed in inner and outer packaging with a difference for the internal and external pressure due to the thermal or other effect for the could cause the explosion rupture of the package. Packaging with the water soluble substance must be water resistant. The packaging with the daisy sensitive fragment type of substance may be closed to prevent change of the concentration during the transport. When containing less alcohol with the water with the fragment type of the specified with the proper shipping description. Substances forbidden. Material large, robust, explosive. The article is normally contained with the material without the with the initiation contain at least two effective the protective features may be the care with the unpack with the provide with that negative the result with the obtain test 4 here with the UN manual of the test criteria for the articles which suffer the article of the propellant charge of the propelled ignition system must be protected against the condition of the encounter during the normal transportation. Unpacked articles that may be fixed cradles contained in the article and creates the other suitable handle storage launching devices in such a way that they will not become loose during the normal condition of the transport in accordance with the approval procedure. Large explode for the articles over the operational safety and suitability tests are subject by testing meets for the intention of the task force series UN manuals of the test criteria which successfully test the result that may be offered with the transport in accordance with the requirements described in B14 above, subject to approval by associated administrator. 173.61 mixed packaging requirements. Explosives may not be packed with the same outside packaging with any of the material that could, under normal conditions, the transportation adversely affect with explosives in its packaging, unless packed with the DOE with accordance with 173.7a hardware necessary for assembly with explosive. The articles point out the use may be packed in the same outside packaging with explosive article. The hardware must be securely packed. Separate the inside of the packaging, fishing cushioning material that must be used to ensure that all inside packaging with the securely packed outside packaging. The following explosives may now be packed together with the class 1 explosive UN 002930 with the 73 with the 106, 107, 255, 257, and U267, the 033, 350, 360, 361, 364, 365, 366, 367, 408, 409, 410, 455, 456, 450 clear. Explosive may be mixed for each with the accordance with the compatible requirements prescribed in paragraph E of the section. Division 1112 explosives may not be packed with the following UN 0333, 0334, 335, 336, 337. Except as prescribed in paragraph C of the D of this section, different explosives may be packed with one outside packaging according with the following compatible requirements. Explosives the same with compatible the group with the same division number that may be packed together. The explosives same compatible the group with the authorized combination of the compatible group with a different division with the number of the may be packed together, provide with the whole package of the distributed the entire package contains if the compromise with the lower division number. For example, the mixed package division 1 and 2 explode with division 1 4 explode with the compatible with the group A with the most group D must be treated with 1.2 D explosives. However, the 1.5 D explosives are packed together with 1.2 D explosives. The whole package must be treated as a 1.1 D explosives. Explosives are compatible with the group of the F, so may be packed together with explosive with the A with the group with the compatible with the group with the except for the A or L with the combined with the group. Package 3 with the belong with the A with the package compatible with the group S. Explosives compatible with the group with L shall be only packed with the identical explosives. Explosives article with the compatible with the group C and D and E may be packed together. Entire packages shall be treated belong compatible with the group E with the explosive with the article with the combination for the C, D, and E with the may be packed together. Entire packaging should be treated belonging to the compatible with the group D. Explosive substance with the compatible with group C and D with the repackaged together. The entire package may be treated belong the compatible with group D. The explosive with the article with the compatible with the group G with the separately a fire article with the requirement special packages may be packed together with the explosive with the article compatible with the group C, D, and E with the combined with the packages shall be treated along with the compatible group E. 173.62 specific packaging requirement for the explosive except for the provided 173.7 within subchapter 172.101 specify the explosive for the package for the corn for the section and the package with the conform to the provision of the paragraph BC with the section 173.7e subchapter applicable to requirement to 173.60.61 may be unless used unless otherwise approved with the associated administrator. Explosive table specify the packaging instructions inside the explosive are identified by the first column of the numerical sequence with the identified number to the ID number, which is listed in column 4 with the 172.101 table over the subchapter. The second column of the explosive table to specify the packaging instruction, which must be used with the packaging explosive. Explosive packaging method of the table with the paragraph C with the section defined with the method of the packaging instruction identified with the UV 3-digit designation. Packaging instruction prefix with the letter US of the particular with the United States, but not found in applicable to the international regulations. And then show the explosive tables, and then the continued, and then see. Explosives must be packed in corn for the following table. The first column listed with the alphanumeric sequence of the packaging method prescribed in the paragraph. The explosive with the table, the paragraph B with this section. Second column specify the inner packaging with the required with the inner packaging with the not required with the notation with the not necessary appear with the over the column with the term with the not necessary with the mean with the suitable inner packaging may be used whether it is not required. Third column specify the intermediate packaging with it or not required or required intermediate packaging are not required with the notation not necessary for the appear with the column with the term with the not necessary means of the suitable intermediate packaging may be used and not required. Fourth column specify the outer packaging which are required with the inner packaging intermediate packaging specified by the second and the third columns of the packaging specified by the fourth column must be used with the outer packaging combination packaging otherwise to be used in single packaging instructions. 101 may be used with the explosives as substances or article with the equivalent level of safety shown in the maintained subject for the approval of the associated administrator. And then show the table packaging. More continued, 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 and then these go on for 173.63 packaging exemption. Core detonation UN 0065 to have an explode for the content 1923 hundreds of the ounce of the purchase of 30 centimeters, the length of the 1 linear foot may be offered to transport domestically with the transport with the core detonating UN 0289, Division 14 with the compatible group D with the 14 explode with the gross weight with all the package contained with the core with the detonating UN 0065, and the size C 99 pounds per foot. The transport vehicle with the freight with the container of cargo only aircraft the offshore with the downhole with the toll. Pallet with the cargo carried on offshore supply vessel with the cargo component with the cargo vessel, the passenger carrying aircraft with the transport person with the remote the work of the site such with the offshore drilling installation. Limited quantity for the cartridge of the small arms, the cartridge of the power device, for the cartridge of the tools blank, cover the cartridge of the dam tube with the primary cartridge of the small arm, the cartridge power with the device tube, for the projectile fastening device, for the cartridge tool blank, cases of the cartridge with the empty with the primary to have the classified in division 1 with explosives, may be out for the transport of limited quantities for the concorn. The B2 with the section package for the name of the article may be marked with either markings prescribed 172 315A me with subject of the offer of the transportation transport of the name over the transport by aircraft of the package must conform with the applicable requirements 173.27 of the part. In addition, the package consisting of the contained with the article of the offered for transportation by aircraft that must be marked with the proper shipping with the name of the mark for described in 172.101 has been true of the table of the subchapter package containing stuff as articles are not subject to shipping the paper requirement subpart C with the 172 subchapter on the left. The material means the definition of hazardous substance, hazardous weight, maritime pollution is off of the transportation transport of the aircraft vessel, the additional package for the contain such article rules expected from the requirements of the subpart E labeling and F placarding in the part 172 of this subchapter. Till December 31st, 2012, the package contains some of the article, such article with the marked with the proper shipping name with the cartridge, small image cartridge, the power device, with the protective fastening device, and reclass as ORMDAR, a material contained with the properly with the package or article for the author of the subchapter October 1, 2010. Additional transportation aircraft with the cartridge with the power device must be separately tested on the UN test here with the 6D with the criteria of the reclassification OMRDDA air material effective July 1st, 2001 to July 1st, 2011. December 31st, 2020, package contained with the articles may be marked with the proper shipping mean with the cartridge with the small with the arm with the cartridge power devices, use projection, fastening devices, cartridge, tool banks with the case cartridge with the empty with the primer with the reclap with the ORMD material with the contained with the proper properly packaged article with the authorized in subchapter October 1st, 2010. Cartridge, a small cartridge with the cartridge power device, shoot with the project with the fastening device, cartridge with the tool of the blanks, and case of the cartridge empty with the primary may be shipped with the limited quantity of the ORMD material as follows: the ammunition with the rifle, the pistol, with the shotgun, ammunition with the inert project, blank ammunition with no tear gas, incendiary detonating explosives, projectile with the ammunition not exceeding 50 caliber, a half an inch over the rifle, with the pistol cartridge, the 8 gauge, the top shelf, with the cartridge with the tool and blank with the cartridge. Cartridge is empty with a primer, cartridge for the power device, shoot with the projecting fastening devices, packaging for cartridge, small arms with the cartridge with the tool of the blank with the cartridge empty with the primer, electrical cartridge, power device, limited quantity, RRMD material that must be as follows: ammunition must be packed in the inside block of the part of the outside of the packaging and metal clips. Primers must be protected with the accidental initiation. Incidental box portion must be clipped, must be packed with securely closed, strong outside packagings. Maximum gross weight limited to 66 pounds per package. The cartridge for the tools and blank, and cartridge for the power devices, which are used for the projecting fastening devices for the case cartridge for the entry for the primer. 22 caliber rimfire cartridge for the may be pack loosening with a strong outside of the packaging. C is reserved. Reverse logistics hazard material may even the definition of reverse logistics under 171A with the subchapter for the compliant with the paragraph 3 of the section may be up for the transported with the highway transportation course 173 to 157. E is reserved detonators containing no more than 1 gram of explosives include the igniting of the delay chart of the electrical with the blasting cap of the leg, wires 4 feet long and the delay connect the plastic sheet with the plastic cap with the empty plastic tube 12 feet long and longer may be packed with solid in which with the cave with expect with the packaging requirements of 173.62. No more than 50 detonators in one inner packaging IME standard 22 container IBMRs statute 171.7 subchapter with the compartment with the outer packaging. No more than 100 detonators with the inner one outer packaging with no material may be loaded with the under the IM standard 2 and 22 container with no material may be loaded again for the outside diameter door with the one IME standard 22 compartment. Detonators classified with the 1B4S containing no more than 1 gram of the explosive included with the ignition with the delay chart that may be packed with the following, in which case accepted with the packaging requirements 173.62. No more than 50 detonators in one inner packaging IME standard 22 containers with the outer packaging. No more than 1,000 detonators in one outer packaging, and each inner packaging is marked with 1.4 B detonators, 1.47 and 1.4 S detonators as appropriate. 173.64 exemption for the Division 1-3 and 1-4 fireworks. Notwithstanding with the requirements of 173.56B with the Division 1-3 and 1-4 fireworks, Statute 173.65 of the Division 1-4G with the consumer fireworks may be classified and approved with the associate administrator without prior examination of the transportation following conditions are met. Fireworks are manufactured in accordance with the applicable requirements of the APA Standard 87-1, to the IBRC 171.7. The subchapter of the device must be passed with the thermal stability test conducted with the third party laboratory with the manufacturer test must be formed with the maintaining device represented with the prototype of the large device, such as the display show the temperature of 167 degrees Fahrenheit for 48 consecutive hours. The device contains more than one component with the components that could physically contact with each other. The finish of the devices must be played with the contact with each other during the thermal stability test. The manufacturer applied the written associated administrator with the following with the applicable requirements for the APA Standard 87-1 with the notified with the written with the associated administrator of fireworks have class and approved with the designated assigned EX number with the application must be complete with include all the relevant packing background data comply with all applicable drawing with the test result with the other pertinent information on the other way on each device when the approval of the request of the manufacturer must be signed with the application of the certified device, which is approval of the request to conform with the APA standard 871 with the description and technical information contained with the application that are complete with the accurate and no duplication application. No, has been submitted with the fireworks fireworks certification agency application denied and manufactured with a notification written with the reason for the denial. Associated administrator may require fireworks examined by the agency listed in 173.56b1 B reserved. All right, 173.65. Exemption Division 414G consumer fireworks. Notwithstanding the requirements of 173.56 B 55 F and I and 173.64 Division 414G consumer fireworks may be offered with transportation provided the following conditions are met. Fireworks are manufactured in accordance with the applicable requirements of the APA standard 871 IBR 171.7. Subchapter the device must be thermal with the stability with the steps must be maintaining the device for the representative of the prototype of the device for the temperature for the 160 degrees 7 degrees Fahrenheit for the 48 consecutive hour of the device containing more than one component of those components that could be in physical contact with each other with the potential device must be played with the contact with G for the other during thermostability testing. The manufacturer for the division of 14G consumer fireworks are applied with the written with the dot certification agency notified with the written with the dot approved fireworks certification agency that firework has been certified with the APA standard 871 with the meet for the quantities of the section and signed by the FC number of the manufacturer application that must be complete and include detailed diagram of the device for the complete with a list of the chemical for the composition formulation for the quantity for the device, the result of the thermal stability and test, signed certification declared with the device with it, which in certification requested conform with the APA standard 871 with the description, technical information contained, and the application are complete with the accurate with no duplicate application. They have been submitted with the PHMSA, but the application now of the fireworks certification agency must notify the manufacturer of the written review the denial detail with the dot approval of the issue with the fireworks certification agency with the following with the issue with the denial for the firework certification agency manufacturer may seek with the reconsideration fireworks certification agency reconsideration design with the fireworks certification agency PHMSA administrator. Our record keeping requirements following the clarification and certification of each of the division 1-4 consumer the fireworks of each of the permit with the paragraph of the section manufacturer importer must be in tip of the paper the record of the electronic image of the certification with the commentary of the compliant with the section with each of the record must clearly provide with a unique identifier signed with the firework device for the fireworks certification agency certified with the device for the record must be acceptable or through its principal affiliation for the business made available upon the request for any authorized official, federal, state, local government, of the reasonable time and local the copy of the certification records must be maintained with each by each importer and manufacturer foreign manufacturer use agent with 5 years of the device import. The certification record must be made available to the representative of the PHMSA upon request. 173.66 requirement of the bulk package for the certain explode for the oxides. 172.101 subchapter specified with the attachment to the may be transformed in the corners of the section special provision 148 172.102 with the bulk package for the specified with those material with the IME standard 23 IBR 171.7 with the subchapter the authorized subject requirement subpart A and B with this part with the special provision column 7 with the 172.101 table C with the section 1 with the IME standard 23 for Signal with the transportation signal with the bulk that have the material with the blasting of the cargo tank motor vehicle with the section 2 with the IME standard 23 with the stand with the CTMV with the capable of the transporting multiple hazard material for the blasting involved with the non-bulk package with the multi-purpose bulk with the authorized with the transport class 1 explode with the material division 5 1 explode oxidizing material class 8 with the corrosive material with the combustible liquid NA 1933 with the specified with the IME standard 23 with the addition of the requirements paragraph A with the section applied with a new multi-purpose bulk for the track construction and instructive after the April 19, 2016 modified the existing multi-purpose bulk for the truck after April 16, 19, 2016 C 173.66 regarding the term modified federal motor vehicle safety standards multiple purpose bulk trucks that may be in compliant with the federal motor vehicle safety standards found in the Title 49 CFR 15571 applicable. Furthermore, multiple person bulk truck the manufacturer must contain the certification record with the ensure that the final manufacturer is in compliance with the federal motor vehicle safety standards and conform with the certification requirements and found in Title 49 CFR 5567. The certification records must be available with the dot represented upon request. Modified, the term modified means with the ancient with the original design construction of the multi-purpose bulk tank truck with the effect of the structural integrity with the load, landing and attention with the capability of the rechasing with the exclude with the category with the following the chain of the multiple purpose bulk trucks, equipment such as the light truck, the traction power of the train, component of the steering, brake of the system, the suspension part of the chain, the improvements such as the fenders, attachment, light brake, lighting brakes, and lighting brakes and brackets, later bracket plate the component fitted is such a valve, the vents fitting of which with components similar design of the same size. All right, subpart D, definition, classification, packaging, grouping, assignment, exemptions, hazardous material other than class 1 and class 7.